Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
This episode of the Mike O'Mara Show is brought to you by Hulu Plus. Watch your favorite shows anytime, anywhere with Hulu Plus on your TV or on the go with your smartphone or tablet. Shows like Family Guy, Once Upon a Time, New Girl, Scandal, and more. Right now, you can try Hulu Plus free for 2 weeks when you go to huluplus.com/TMOS or click the banner on our website. That's huluplus.com/TMOS. Timpani, please.
Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store and around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
You know, merchandising is wonderful. I know Oscar spent a lot of time in school studying marketing and merchandising and all that good stuff.
Sir.
And the fact is that we are inundated on a daily basis with commercials and ads, and we go into stores. And I even remember when I learned about the fact that the way they place products in a store is a very sophisticated marketing research type of
It's a
endeavor.
science.
Where it's a science to do that. And Mr. Spiewak,
Yes, Mike.
although we pound on your head constantly to do all of your shopping at Amazon, the fact is that you have one of those big box stores known as the Costco.
A cost company, Mike.
Costco is located. Costco is located like what, 3 minutes from your front door?
It is the closest retailer to my home, honestly. It's closer than a 7-Eleven, yes.
So the Costco is someplace that you've embraced, not necessarily because it's so all-falutin fantastic, but it's just convenient.
It is convenient.
And you're all about your convenience,
That
right?
is, and besides, Mike, you know, I love Amazon, and I buy the bulk of the things I buy through Amazon, but to this day, I've not yet bought a hot dog at Amazon, and I needed hot dogs for dinner last night, so it was off to Cost Company. And you say, you know, placement and things like that are studied. I walked in, I showed my card, and immediately they've got impulse buy items, usually seasonal items, to your right as you go in, before you get to what we like to call, Mike, the racetrack, the outer circle of the Costco. And
They call it the race.
They
Now,
call it
do you know this from a Costco employee, or is this your own creation, or what did you
No,
get?
I watched
Because I
this.
like the concept of the racetrack.
I saw it on a documentary.
MSNBC.
On MSNBC.
I saw it as well. He's absolutely right. It's called the
They
racetrack.
call it the racetrack. And that's not, Mike, the outer perimeter where you're going to find, like, your dog foods and your bottled water. This
Right.
is the sort of inner perimeter that goes around, you know, and that's where the samplers are, the end
Yeah.
of the
The
aisles.
socks.
Yeah, all that stuff. But
the inner perimeter.
But what I saw, Mike, what I saw in the impulse buys, I was not interested in an American flag. I wanted no garden hose. I wanted no yoga pants. What I saw was something I had never seen before. What I saw was something that really changed my life in an instant. It was like
Now-
flipping a toggle switch.
Let me stop you because, you know, I know what you're talking about.
I know
because
you
this is
do.
It's the whole purpose of this story here is because
Yes.
I know exactly what you're talking about. And the fact is that Mr. Spiewak, very entertaining on the social networking, very, very entertaining on the Facebook, and I monitor him regularly. You know, with the rest of you
Someone
guys, I
has
monitor.
to.
Yes, someone's got to see what he's up to, and you know, see what some type of interesting thing he's going to put up there. And the fact is that yesterday I jumped on his Facebook, and suddenly I looked and I said, oh, look at that product he's putting up there. But you can take it from here, Rob.
It was at the very end of the impulse buys. Normally, there's something set up there that is that you have to actually talk to someone, but they put
Right.
up a display. And I have a pet peeve at Costco. I don't like people that stop their cart in a traffic area, but
Right.
I became the thing that peeves me because I needed to take a photograph of this stupid product immediately. Because what it said, Mike, it only weighs 2.5 ounces.
That's
it
correct.
Floats.
Right.
It's ideal for a host of outdoor activities and
That is
offers
correct.
SPF protection of 100. It is
Yes.
the Boonie Hat.
What is the Boonie hat?
Not
The
Boonie.
Boonie hat.
I think Oscar said Boonie.
It's not the Poonie hat, Oscar.
No,
it's
the
Boonie
Boonie.
hat.
Boonie hat. It is a big jackass hat with a huge brim, floppy brim. It comes in khaki and tan, and it
Yes.
comes in sort of a forest green, and it protects your face when you're
Your
out.
face?
Your face when you're out and about. And I said, you know what? This is ridiculous. I have. Oh, and I forgot to mention the best thing, Mike. I don't know if you're aware of this. It
What's
has
that?
a string, a tightenable lanyard that will actually hold the boonie hat to your head. It fits almost any head size.
I don't know why you're telling me this. You should be telling your brother this. You should be telling Mac. Oh, and by the way, hi, Mac.
Hi there.
Yeah, you're wearing orange. How unusual.
Of course.
All right, got to get that kid a new orange sweatshirt. We really do. But anyway, go tell him more about
Maybe
the fabulous
we could get him a boonie sweatshirt.
boonie hat.
So I was so
A boonie hat would look good on Mac.
Oh, it's like a safari hat.
Yeah, but
Right.
not really because it's floppy. It lacks sort of structure to it. And so I immediately said, this is the ultimate jackass hat. I need to take a picture of it and post it on Facebook with the caption, "It floats." Because the only thought I had is the only other thing that I can think of that floats is BM. So
Well, let me just say, now that I am down here in South Florida, I can certainly understand why a product with something that floats, you would be talking about people that were planning on spending some time on the water.
That
and
would make
perhaps
sense, yeah.
you want to be around people that are in the sunshine well.
So I get home and I check my Facebook page and there's nice comments. People are saying, that's an odd hat. I can't believe that's there. And then there is I think you actually clicked like on it, Mike. And then
I liked it, yes, for a particular reason.
And then I checked my texting machine, and what did I see but a picture of Mike and Carla both wearing their booty hats?
Hi, everybody.
Oh, that is
it going?
great. That is
are you?
absolutely great.
And the thing is many people, I would
Hi.
think that it was sort of a dig or an insult or would take...
mate. Time me kangaroo down.
I see,
Yes?
I see that hat, and I think you're going to be active. You're going out and about.
I think I'm going to be active. Yes, Oscar. I'm going to get out of the wheelchair, and I'm actually going to move. I'm going to move today. That's
Your
what I'm
hat
gonna
looks
do.
smaller than Carla's. Are they the same
Carla's
size?
looks better. Come on, lean in, darling.
Yeah, it really does.
Lean in.
To
with
be
the-
fair,
You smell
a lot of things look better on Carla.
It's true. Look how
all
protected
dressed
you
up?
both are.
Oh, she actually got the dark khaki. I like that better.
Yeah, I think a woman in a hat is so vogue.
Yeah, yeah, she looks much better than you do.
Who is that?
That's
Audrey
confirmed.
Hepburn?
Give me the gum.
But
the gum,
the
please.
thing is that
Oh,
most
No,
people...
right there.
Carla
Down.
was, Carla was chewing gum.
And she spit it in your chest hair. What happened?
A tribute to Don Geronimo. Rob, you used to love this bit that he
Yes.
did.
Ah, nice.
I don't think I wouldn't do that to my wife.
I love Don's. That was one of my favorites that he used to do. I love that more than anything in the world.
But here's where I'll applaud you, Mike, is that so many people, if there had been a thread dedicated to making fun of their most recent Costco purchase _2, they would
Yes.
be angry. And yet
Right.
you embraced it and sent me
Oh, I
a
was-
beautiful photo.
I ran to Carla. I said, get the boonie hats and send a picture to Rob right away.
And so I was speaking to my father last night, and he says what he always says. He doesn't even say hello. He says when I dial him, he says, "What the hell is a boonie hat?" I said, "Not only is it a boonie hat, Mike O'Mara has purchased 2 of them." He says, "What the hell is wrong with him?"
Hey, oi, only Bob Speedway. Let me tell you what a boonie hat is. It's so you can go out in the flats when you're getting your fish. Then you can go out in your fish and you can fish and you can stay out in the sun. And when you're out in the sun, it won't burn your back because it's got the SPF 50 right through. The sun can't penetrate the head. The sun can't penetrate the head.
It's kind of like doing a show with Shotgun Tom Kelly.
or Kemosabe Joe.
I may be the only one that likes the hat.
No, Mike likes it.
Thank you, Oscar.
No, I
Thank
really
you.
do like the hat.
I will say that in practical purposes, I have not yet worn the hat. I have chosen to wear the cracker uniform down here, which is the fishing shirt, the cargo shorts made out of nylon, I should point
Of
out.
course,
yeah.
well, for fast drying.
I've got some gum on my finger.
Oh, dear. At least we hope it's gum.
Are you saving it for later?
Hey, do me a favor, Mike. Pull the brim of your hat way down over your face. Now, look.
It's me, Beanie Heat.
No, you
It's me, Beanie Heat.
It's like talking to Gloria Swanson.
Who's that character in
Hello.
Fat Albert, the cartoon?
What was that character's
With the
name?
hat way
That
down
was
over his face.
And wasn't he the one that saw? Was he the? No, there was the other one that said "Habadoo-ba-dub."
No, that's Mushmouth. I think it is Mushmouth, isn't it?
Yeah. You're
So,
right.
This way, you won't be able to see in front of you, but you'll be protected from the sun.
No.
Well, Mike, if that boonie hat means we've got you for a couple extra years, I say it was, what is it, $18 well spent?
Well, I'll tell you this. You've got to make modifications. I'm a great one for stealing ideas and making them my own and
Right
making
on.
them better. And that's why, look, God, I've got gum everywhere. I'm never doing that again.
You should have sprayed Pam on your fingers.
Right. I'm going to be actually, these are unisex hats. And to be honest with you,
they are.
thank you, baby.
Yeah.
That's right. But I honestly don't think that they look that good on guys. They look better on women. So I'm going to narrow the focus when I market them in Costco.
It depends if you're a military man and maybe you're going out on some sort of mission.
This is true.
Right.
You wear that boonie hat, no one's going to disrespect you.
But listen to this. How about pastel colors?
Yeah.
A variety of attractive prints, right? Floral prints. And that's why, hopefully, I'll send the letter out to Costco this afternoon. Look for it perhaps late summer, early fall. Mike O'Mara's Poonie hats.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
Hey, Napoleon, did you wet the bed last night?
Hey, Don, did you take a dump in your bed last night?
I could kick your butt, Napoleon, so I'd shut up.
Why don't you go tell your mom to shut up?
What did you say?
Whatever I feel like I want to say.
Did you say something about my mom?
Maybe I did, maybe I didn't.
You want to die, Napoleon?
Yeah, right. Who's the only one here who knows the illegal ninja moves from the government?
Hey, Napoleon, what'd you do all last summer again?
I told you, I spent it with my uncle in Alaska hunting wolverines.
Did you shoot any?
Yes, like 50 of them. They kept trying to attack my cousins. What the heck would you do in a situation like that?
What kind of gun did you use?
A freaking 12 gauge. What do you think?
Hey, Napoleon, I hear you're in a club for girls.
Shut up, I am not.
Yeah? Why are you in the Happy Hands Club then?
Because I didn't have a freaking choice. All the other sweet clubs were filled up. God!
Hi.
Is Grandma there?
No, she's getting her hair done. What do you need?
Can you bring me my chapstick?
No, Napoleon.
But my lips hurt real bad.
Just borrow some from the school nurse. I know she has like 5 sticks in her drawer.
I'm not gonna use hers, you sicko.
See ya.
Idiot.
Up next, I hope you'll enjoy a skit by Pedro Sanchez.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, from his easy chair, here's Mike.
Pedro
Sanchez.
Pedro Sanchez, live from the Cappy Pfeiffer Studios. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. We are broadcasting all over the planet. We are powered by Encore Insurance Services. With over 23.5 million downloads, we're at MikeO'MaraShow.com, and we are heard over the air on the mighty 1630 KCJJ in the heart of the heartland. Go Hawks!
Mike, if you would take a moment and take off your boonie hat as a show of
Yes.
respect for the KCJJ listener of the day. I think he's one of yours, Ryan O'Leary. Ryan O'Leary, our KCJJ listener of the day.
Ryan O'Leary was sitting with a boonie hat. Hey. Anyway, congratulations, Ryan, for being the KCJJ listener of the day. The Mike O'Mara Show is a daily radio show and podcast with the greatest listeners in the world. Why?
Why, Mike? Why?
Because they get it. Our show today is brought to you by Stamps.com. We live in exciting times, friends. The future is now, and trips to the post office are becoming a thing of the past. You don't just need to do it anymore, or you just don't need to do it anymore.
Either way, it's true.
You know something, Rob?
What?
You just don't need to do it anymore.
Understood.
So important.
It is.
Thanks to Stamps.com, you already know that going to the post office is a major inconvenience. Making the drive, trying to park, waiting in lines. Rob Spiewak went to the post office today for no apparent reason, and he was 25 minutes late for the show.
Exactly. I said, you know what? This is nonsense. I just don't need to do it anymore.
Rob, you probably didn't know that you are paying more for postage than you have to.
What's that?
Stamps.com is the better way. Buy and print official U.S. postage for any letter or package from your own computer, then just hand it to the mailman. With Stamps.com, you'll get special postage discounts that you can't even get at the post office on first-class priority, international mail, and more. We use Stamps.com. We love it. Ever since I've moved to FLA, we mail a ton of stuff back and forth. We're saving time and money like crazy.
Crazy.
Act now for a 30-day free no-risk trial and $110 bonus offer that includes a free digital scale and up to $55 in free postage. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone, and use our code TMOS. Don't wait. Go to Stamps.com, and before you do anything else, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in TMOS. Remember, Stamps.com. You will never have to go to the post office again. Everybody! Programming note to Michael Kelly, who put together the fabulous book Open Mic that will be available to TMOS listeners and hopefully everybody else quite soon. We've just gotten done talking about how we love the book, and that book is coming out very, very soon. It's a wonderful, wonderful project. I'm very proud of it. And Michael Kelly, who is the, you don't want to say the author because it's as told to Mike Kelly, but he cobbled the whole thing together.
I think author is what he is. He's the
author Mike Kelly.
Author/editor of the book, yeah.
He will be joining us in studio on Thursday to talk all about the book, and he'll do a better job than I do, and that's why we brought him in to, put the whole thing together. Indeed. So I'm looking forward to that. That comes up on Thursday. Where do we begin today? So many collaborators, so many different projects, so many things going on. Let's start because we were going to talk about it yesterday. Oscar Santana, we got a late start on the show yesterday because you were very busy over the weekend taking one of the old Big O and Duke's bits and hopefully turning it into another Holstein television project.
That's true, Mike, and I appreciate you guys. We pushed till noon yesterday. And the one thing about doing this show is we treat it like a real radio show. So I remember writing that email and I was like, this is going to suck because we originally had programmed shooting the show in 2 days, and if the premise is, if you're not aware, and I briefly spoke about it last week, is Chad and I used to do, and we currently do on the podcast, a segment once in a while, but we did it weekly when we were on the air about snacks, where we would rate and rank snacks.
Does it have a name?
Yeah, it's called Snacks at the Round Table. And we were all in charge of bringing a new snack into the studio.
Are you going to acknowledge your brother's music that he got for this?
I've been living with this my entire life, so it's fine. I'll say that translated onto television, I think that it's visually going to be something that's stimulating because we got a chance to go to the Utz factory to show you how Utz potato chips are made. Yeah. And then that parlayed into another shot at the medieval times, which is going to be known as the snack pit, where we actually go in front of the King's Court and they rate our snacks that we bring to the table. And that was a lot of fun. But as you guys know,
who are the King's Court? Is the King's Court the people that sit around the round table? Is that what it is?
Yes, but they actually are on a elevated stage in.
But you're
times.
on that stage, right?
No, we're actually presenting the snacks.
Oh, so you actually have to sort of bow to the King's Court.
This show has been the concept has been adapted and evolved to a television show. So the way it was set up on the radio worked for the radio, but you have to make certain edits for the television show. But as you know, it's a lot of hurry up and wait. So we ended up at
and not really with the Holstein production. I mean, and you talk about doing it in a couple of days. That's it. I mean, he works at a much faster pace than regular TV people.
Absolutely.
Mike Holstein has a different method, and it's hurry up and wait to get paid. So
someone's bitter.
No. You know, Michael, I love you. Come here for a hug.
Who, Michael Holstein?
Yes. I was only making a joke.
Well, this is how many projects have you done with Holstein?
This is only the second, really, because...
So the Regulars was the first.
The Regulars was the first. This is the second.
Well, the DVD, the Reno DVD counts. That's a third.
Yeah, but that was more of, he chronicled it. But this is really...
That was in-house.
Yeah, that was in-house.
All right.
So this is second. And my take is this, and my work philosophy overall, and this is the best way to put it, is if you pay me, teach me, or create with me, I'm in with you. So... Tell me that we're going to make a TV show together out of something I love to do on the radio, and why not do it? It'd be a lot of fun.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
And the fact is, we could talk about the fact that Holstein has taken up so many hours of our time, but the fact is, television works this way. If it sticks to the wall, then it's going to be good for everybody, and you take the chance and you take the time. And Michael's a guy that has always respected Oscar's talent and Rob's and my talent, and really is a guy that wants to see something work with the people that have been on the radio.
Yeah.
He understands. Hot talk, guy talk.
Yes,
he understands the personalities like us that do that, and he wants to see if something will roll on TV. And so that's why I go back to just the concept of having these silly little snack foods and rating them like it's a cooking show, and it's just a hysterical in any incarnation.
Well,
it would be a funny thing, and I know you've tweaked it and you've modified it for TV.
It's a great mix of food and competition.
Yes.
Which is fun. Now, what I want to know is about the King's Court. Are they in outfits? Is there color? Is there pageantry?
That's the fun part about a place like Medieval Times. And if you haven't been, it's what you probably saw on Cable Guy. It's you go there with your family, or you go there as an adult, and you drink heavily, or you eat heavily, or you do both, and you don't use utensils, and everybody's in costume. For example, we met a guy, and people like live and love and believe in this franchise.
Does it count as cosplay?
It does, but I think more importantly, people make a living.
Cosplay?
People,
What's that like?
costume play.
Costume play, Mike.
I thought cosplay was, we're sitting around with the Cheetos and the Utz chips and the thing and the bing.
You could do that if your costume was a sweater.
They have real.
Right.
They have real horses. They have, really real suits of armor. They have jousting. And what's great when we got there, the first thing they tell us before they let us, and this is what's also interesting about a TV production. Just because you're there to make a TV show doesn't mean everything's going to go right.
Sure.
So they said, hey, do us a favor. Try to stay off the sand. And Michael's going to kill me for even saying this. And
The sand?
because you're
because that's where they ride the horses
Yeah,
and they have their
okay.
jousting and all that.
it's in the middle of the
medieval
pit,
times.
right? So we had to do some shots there anyways. But out of the corner of my eye, I see some of the guys go into the back where the knights and the horses are, just right away, just to see what's going on back there, because we're all kids at heart, right? You want to see.
Did they have? I mean, were all the guys on campus?
No,
did you
no,
have, like,
they
the-
left us completely alone.
Oh, so you
no.
didn't have like the horses or anything?
Oh,
like that?
no. The horses, they don't even keep on site. They take them right out as soon as they're done.
So you
So
are.
you didn't have any horses?
No.
Your whole staff is unsupervised at a theme restaurant.
There is security guard, but he's probably watching Hulu Plus inside the security
So basically, you
office.
had the shell and some of the costumes. Did
Oh,
you have
yeah.
access?
It was a lot of fun.
So you had the shell and some of the costumes.
Yeah, and the costumes are just, I mean, they are what you wanted to be when you were a kid. Like, you will take
Right.
a bunch of shields. you can put on the suits of armor. I think it's definitely going to translate onto television. I know, just like when I work with you guys in the regulars, it's just also fun. It's fun. The best part about doing what we do is creating new content.
It wasn't fun for Rob and I have to be honest, because Rob and I just Holstein, has this, Rob. He's got a thing for Oscar.
Yeah, he does. He does.
So I mean, Rob and I basically sat over. When we, how many hours did we kill? Just basically drinking all day. Waiting for
Wasn't
our
it a two-
Well, that
1
question-
minute. Our 1
that
minute
question
of
could
fame.
be asked multiple weekends.
Was it? No. But this. It's different when you drink for pleasure, and it's different
Right.
when you drink because you're sort of held captive. Was it a
Yeah.
2:00 call?
I think something. Yeah, I think it was 2:00. Call.
Because I believe it was the Kentucky
and I got
Derby.
there, I think at noon to watch
The Caps.
the hockey game.
There was hockey followed by the
Yeah.
Kentucky Derby, so it was a great day to have juleps at Jimmy's.
Just
but we
all
were there,
day long.
I think we were released at about midnight. It was about a 12-hour day, and we offered a lot of grand content.
We did none of it that made this show.
None of
but
it.
The fact is, look at us. We're not as pretty as Training Boy over here.
The only thing I really
doing that.
recall from the whole shoot
Training
is
boy.
the training boy. Yeah, because
Yeah.
you train and you lift your
Right.
plates and you
CrossFit
do your
man.
things.
Right.
The one
I had a
moment,
personal best, by the way.
What, as far as the workout?
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
even, Mike. Let's drive him crazy. Don't ask.
Oh,
Okay, thank you.
sorry.
All right.
I think the best moment from that day of shooting never made it to the show, and that was you yelling at Uncle Dave for getting in the shot. Because we were both a little crispy at that point, and we were just
Right.
trying to get done what we needed to get done.
That part is the worst. When you're, like I said, hurry up and wait at the beginning. I can't take that away because it's fun when you're on camera and people are, you have to create and you have to be on the spot.
Right.
But when you're just waiting for shots to be set up, because that's what has to be done. It has to be lit correctly. You have to
But
get
at
the
least
right
with
sound.
you, I mean, this is the second project now where you have been in the spotlight and the center of the activity and the center of attention. And not only was Rob and I were we left in the on the cutting room floor for the first project, but now the glimmer of hope that was the regulars for us. Is Holstein's on to his next. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your 3-4 days of work, and I'll throw you away. And now it's on to the next project. So I wish you and your minions on the other one and I hope this one sticks to the wall.
I do too.
I hope this is one, because how many times are we going to go back to the Holstein well? And it sounds to me we got Utz.
Yeah.
We got medieval times.
Yes.
It sounds like
and Whole Foods.
maybe unlike
we have
Mike
one more
O'Mara.
shoot.
Unlike Mike O'Mara's time, which is worth about dick to Mr. Holstein.
Oh, dear.
This is one that he's diving in with both feet. This is one where he really cares about.
I am not
that's
as quite as
probably-
bitter as you about
yeah.
this, Mike, and I think that
I don't
what
like being well. First of all, Rob, let me tell you, there are a couple of things I love.
Yes,
I love wasting time.
you do.
And I love having my time valued at an all-time premium.
Okay, and that's what
Holstein,
we try to
Holstein has managed to do both for me. So I
think-
wanted to say salute to that.
do.
Thank you very much.
He could fix this, and here's how.
How's that?
When this thing takes off and it goes crazy, and they put the first season of Snacks of the Round Table out on Blu-ray, digital video disc, digital versatile disc, put on the regulars as an extra.
Oh, like a bonus?
Yeah, when you go to special features and there'll be Mike's face and you click on it, and then it's that magic night all over again.
To be honest with you, and I have to speak frankly here.
Yes,
and
and-
I still
and you
I
should.
still think the regulars is in the pipeline. Is it not?
It
Maybe?
is in the pipeline. I actually
But-
heard there was a deal on the table, but it wasn't good enough.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't,
The deal or the table?
I
Which
didn't
was
want to
bad?
tell you guys because it wasn't my business to say.
Well, I heard the same.
You got the same word?
Mr. Holstein emails me
Oh,
when
okay.
you're not aware of it. But the fact is,
Did he
that
email
it
you
was,
about Snacks of the Round Table?
No, he did
Oh,
not email
weird.
me. Well, because I wasn't involved in the
Interesting.
project.
Oh, interesting.
Why would I be involved in an email with that if I wasn't?
I'm just messing with you.
Yes. No, it's just that, I feel sort of cast aside again. It's just like
You're the
Holstein.
hot chick.
Thanks
Stop
for using.
it.
No.
Jesus.
Hot chicks don't get used and thrown away.
Oh,
so the
now
bottom
you're the
line
BJ chick?
No, you know what?
yeah. To be honest with you, that's what I feel like right now. I was, I feel used.
You were
like a
backburned?
like a cheap whore.
I feel that Mike, we're the old chicks. We're
Yes.
older. We're older. We're
Yes.
yesterday's news.
That's
and
exactly
it's
what it
even
is.
worse for me because I'm old and fat.
Right. Right.
So you know what's not ringing? My phone. It never rings. I just look at it.
But the fact is, as far as the regulars are concerned,
You jerks.
I horned in on the regulars.
You did.
You did.
I horned
Your
in
last
on that.
hurrah.
Oh, my God.
I was
Time
I was
capsule
not
show.
involved. I
Remember
was
when
not
he just
in.
destroyed our friend Tanner?
Yeah, that
Remember?
you went to the baseball
yeah,
game.
Yeah, we had a great time. And you know what? Tanner still likes you, which is great.
Oh, that's
does.
that's fantastic.
He's a really nice guy, actually.
I wish I knew him better. I've only
Yeah.
met Tanner on
He's
two
a good,
separate
good man.
occasions. So,
Then you slandered him. I remember
what's that?
Nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
Please.
That's true.
And then you
well,
apologized. You
but
made
the
up.
nice thing about the difference between you and me is I think it's wonderful that you keep all of your friendships and
Yeah.
relationships
Yes, yes.
intact, whether you like the person or not. We'll take a break, and we will come back after more fun and more
I like
thrills.
Tanner.
On the,
How dare you?
Right. Yeah, keep saying that. We'll take
What
a
are you
break, come back
talking
with
about?
more on the
This makes
Michael
no
Mary
sense.
Show. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. This segment of the program is brought to you by Encore Insurance Services. Encore. We love Encore. If you're out there shopping insurance, it's hard to know which company offers the best value. Encore Insurance is here to help. They will survey the most highly rated companies in the insurance industry to compare premiums. Encore does the work so you don't have to. Popular internet disc jockey and noted television star Oscar Santana
Thank you,
will
Mike.
tell you that it couldn't be easier.
True enough.
Now if Snacks of the Round, and that's what it's going to be called, Snacks of the Round Table.
Yes, sir.
So if Snacks of the Round Table gets picked up and suddenly becomes bigger than American Idol, your life is going to be more valuable. So
From your lips
thank,
to God's ears.
thank God that you got the insurance from Encore.
Yes.
When you did, because you're not going to have to pay a higher premium because Encore did all the work for you.
You're absolutely right. Thank you, Mike.
Just call toll free.
You too.
866
Look at you two.
347-5748 to get a free life insurance quote. It's all free. There's no obligation and no salesman will visit you. If you prefer computers, just visit smartterm.com. That's SMARTTERM.com. That's where you'll find the license, disclaimer, and quality customer service. Encore Insurance Services, LLC. Stop paying too much for life insurance. Protect your family the smart way at smartterm.com. Welcome back to the show. We move from one project on to the next project, and that is Mr. Rob Spiewak.
Hello.
I've been trying to talk about this for weeks because I want to hear the behind-the-scenes goings-on, because, Rob, we haven't promoted it enough. The fact that Cake and Cookies, the Rob Spiewak Katie show,
Yes.
is Katie Von Herman, Katie Powers, Sacco Vanzetti Von Herman.
I think she just does Katie Powers on the air, but sometimes she does Katie Von Herman. So let's just call her Katie.
Let me tell you why I thought about this, because this weekend, I was sitting there and Oscar was doing his TV show. And then one of the guys from our fan page said, you were inadvertently signed up for the Cake and Cookies fan page. And my wife, in her infinite wisdom, looked over at me, and she really didn't mean it. But I have to say this. She looked over at me and she said, is anybody paying attention to your show still? And I said, yes, they are,
Of
and
course.
they're doing a very, very
I'm
nice
not.
job. And this,
No.
What show?
I don't worry about you. You're the ultimate multitasker.
Yeah.
You can do 16 different things at once, whether they betray me or not. But anyway, it's
Some of them do,
it's
some of
something-
them don't.
How
Then
does?
some of
Let
them
me
do
ask you this
something.
question.
Yes,
For
yes.
4,
Oscar, I am
it's been
playing
almost
a role.
5 years. Now,
Yes.
how does? And this is the way I look at it.
Yes.
If you become a voiceover star, and God
Yes.
knows that you've had great opportunities and you've executed on them,
Are you
right?
using this one again, the voiceover?
No.
thing?
If you do that, I know that your star. If your star rises, our star rises.
Yes.
Can you wrap your mind around that concept?
As that a rising tide raises all boats.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Not even now that you're living on the water?
What a stupid thing to say. What?
You're living on the water. The tide references should be great.
No, I'm actually resigned to the fact that since I've been down here, it just I know it's almost, I feel like I'm backing up my own cliche because so many people have said it. I don't look at the stuff that I used to look at.
Good
I
man.
don't get involved in that very, very much. I mean, it is kind of a chill thing, and I really, really do look forward to getting back and seeing you guys in May. But as far as the little minutia, why are you shaking?
You don't.
You
You see,
you know what I do? God's honest truth. Now that I've read that book, and now that I know that's why I'm coming back,
Yeah.
I completely am into it.
All right.
I am completely into it.
Now, will you
all
be
the other
in
all the
studio?
other stuff, maybe not so much.
Will you
What?
be in studio when you come up here, or are we just going to set up the
Yeah.
Zip One at your hotel?
No.
Hey guys, I can't make it in.
It's kind of a hassle.
Let me tell you, Carlos
No,
got the car.
I love the idea. First of all, the Oscar studio is beautiful, and I really, really look forward to doing that because it's fun. And I think, but you two will agree that nothing has changed.
No, you're
since
right.
I've been down
No.
here regarding the show. I look at you guys. We give each other the same amount of crap, if not more. I see more little things than
Yeah.
I did before, and so that's been terrific. But one of the things I was going to say is I actually, will I ever get to the point in my life where I have developed spiritually enough to feel joy for others? I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever be like that. My competitive DJ-ness is far too acute for that. But as far as the little tiny things that used to get under my skin,
Right.
that gets better all the time. I mean, I'm down
That's
here
great.
for a reason. I truly am.
Your
And-
spiritual development.
and I mean
And the
this sincerely.
doctors.
The doctors that recommended me getting that.
Oh, and the handsome guy with the boat.
Yeah.
The handsome young man on the boat, Captain Morgan.
But I want to make it real clear. I still consider what we're doing right now, this show, I want to make this bigger and better and more successful, and nothing has changed in regards to that. That's why even as early as last week, Oscar and I have weekly business meetings, and I think Oscar, how I felt after that meeting. I was
Absolutely.
just so totally pumped up with the response, and I'm going to take this opportunity to thank our listeners who are continuing to grow this show. Does it move as fast as I'd like it to move? No, it doesn't, but I didn't, I went by it really quickly. 23.5 million downloads today. So we grow all the time. It doesn't go backwards, and I still take a tremendous amount of pride in the show, and I'm very kind of myopic about that. I want this show and everything else. Does it bug me that other people are doing things? Maybe there's a pang of it, but it's not like when I used to read like all the other websites. And, I looked at some of the radio websites for the first time yesterday, and it had been a very, very long time. And when I don't go to those websites for a long time, I get that little moment of anxiety where I almost hesitate to click on it, and sometimes I just don't. But if I didn't, I wouldn't find out that some of my radio pals are doing different things, and so that's a good thing. And congratulations to Kenny King, who became the Wash FM program director.
Good for him.
I wanted to salute a very nice man and a very good guy to me, and so Kenny King, I hope you have a great run there.
Can I ask you a question? And you and I have a more of an overlap personality-wise than Oscar and I do, so I'm wondering. I also don't go to those radio gossip sites as much anymore.
Right.
And I was wondering, is it because the information there is somehow less dynamic, or are we just changing because what we do has changed?
It is, for me, it is something that I'm not in radio anymore.
Right.
I love KCJJ, but I'm not in the DC radio market where, we're going through that feeding frenzy anymore. And so reading that is not something that that I need to do. Where I used to like to. It was actually something probably I never really needed to do. The second part of it is the theories and the attitudes of people that are not in the know, that don't know me, that don't know what's in my heart. They're wrong more than they're right, and they're wrong a lot more than they're right. They might be right about certain business moves that are happening. The track record's pretty good, but as far as controversy and things like that, no. I think people would be amazed to know how little I think or worry about stuff like that. I'm too busy. I've got a 9-month-old that I'm dealing with down here. I'm establishing a new residence. I'm focusing on new media and making this show as good as it can be. And the serious way that I feel about, if we can talk about it for a second.
Sure.
When you do a project, or when Oscar does a project, when Oscar does a project, Oscar conducts himself with me behind the scenes and personally, and has kind of trained me to not obsess over these type of things, because he's demonstrated such unfaltering commitment to TMOS
and competence.
And let's not go too far.
No, I agree.
And,
he's been quite competent. That's a good word for it.
So the fact is, I don't obsess over it, but I always feel that envy when anybody's doing something else. That, boy, wouldn't that be fun to be part of that? But it's ridiculous, because that is a Big O and Duke's bit, and it is a bit that they have done for a long time. And it's a bit that I was on. I've done it a couple of times on the radio. Love to do it in the future if there's ever an opportunity, but it's changed. I don't get obsessed over it. I don't do it. We just did the first segment talking about it. Oscar, would that have happened 4 years ago?
No.
That never, ever,
you would have even
ever
uttered the
happened.
Words.
I wouldn't have said it.
No.
I wouldn't have said it. I would have been like going, oh, there. And I would have had a week of obsessing, a month of obsession over it. And it's never productive to be that way. And, as far as the ship rising for one guy, everybody does well. I don't know if I agree with that necessarily, but I do agree that, you do a lot of things, and you've explained why you do, and you're always trying to find the next great big thing to do, and you demonstrate your loyalty to this show, and that's all I really care about.
The real question is this. I got the same email you did that you got the other evening when Carl asked, is anybody paying attention to your show? And the email read, hey, by the way, apologies. Somebody got overzealous, and they added you to the Cake and Cookies fan page. Is this okay with you, or would you like to get pulled out? Now, my question that came over myself, and I don't know if you had the same question, Mike, is, one, why do they need a fan page? And then two, how does somebody have, and I'm a tech guy, have access to add me to something I don't want to be a part of,
Well, I got that, and I'm going to even go a little darker, because I got that particular individual.
Yes.
I felt like, even though he runs a fan page for us,
yes,
I felt trolled. I felt like
really?
Wow.
Oh, I felt like
Taken advantage of.
Was he looking for me to go? Yes, remove me from that fan page.
I asked him who he was. I said, "Excuse me, who are you?"
And the thing is, I didn't even think about it because I didn't respond.
Right.
And I'm perfectly fine being on that as
No,
far as
I responded.
You responded?
I said, "Sure, add me."
I don't. I'm on it, and I will stay on it
Well,
because
that's
I'm a
because
fan of Rob Spiewak.
You
and
listen
I'm a
to
fan
every
of,
episode.
I do.
I started, Mike. I started writing. I said, "Who's cake and cookies?" And then I said, "Well," I said, "Well, that's mean." And I said, "Sure, man, add me, no problem."
I want to know what Cake and Cookies is all about, and I want all the details when we come back. Can you
got
give
it.
that to us?
Yeah.
We'll take a break, come back with more. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. Hi, Stephen. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. You've probably tried Hulu on your computer. Hulu Plus is so much more. We love telling you about it. With Hulu Plus, you can watch current season episodes of your favorite shows like Modern Family. Who does not like Modern Family?
Best sitcom
Love
on
Modern
TV.
Family.
Absolutely consistently the best. A show that I have really always been dabbling with, but I've never completely immersed myself in it, but I have now, The Daily Show. And A Scandal is another show that is on my short list that I want to get to.
Oh, yeah.
Nice thing about Hulu Plus is you can binge on it, and you can save it,
Sure.
and you can do it whenever you want. Watch every episode of shows like Doctor Who, Lost, and Law & Order SVU. Now more than ever, there's so much to watch. Take total control with Hulu Plus to stream these shows and thousands more as much as you want, whenever you want. Hulu Plus works on your computer, smart TV, Roku, Apple TV, Xbox, PlayStation. Listen, anything you want to stream with, you can do Hulu Plus with. Hulu Plus works everywhere. You'll love it. You can even watch on your phone or your iPad. You can do it at work, wherever you want, even if you happen to be in the bathroom stall.
Look
couldn't,
at you.
Couldn't sleep last night, and I didn't want to disturb my lovely girlfriend, so I just put my phone. I dimmed the brightness, and I went on Hulu Plus, the app, and I watched the Las Vegas episode with Patton on there, our friend Patton Oswalt.
Oh, of Modern Family?
Modern Family. Watched it right in bed on my phone on the Hulu Plus app. It was well worth it.
Phil was trying to get into a magician's organization, Mike.
Hulu Plus is also the greatest place to catch anime and Korean dramas. Imagine one place where I can watch favorites like SNL, The Daily Show, as well as Naruto 1. Now, what is Naruto? I'm
Oh
not
my
familiar
God!
with
You
that
know
one.
what? This is so great. Mac actually pumped his fist when you said Naruto. Can you tell us
Intern
about?
Mac.
Come on, close to the microphone here.
It's an
Mac,
anime.
tell me about Naruto.
It's an anime.
Talk into the microphone, please.
It's an anime about
Closer!
Closer. Right there. Don't look at Mike. Just look at the microphone.
It is an anime about a yellow-haired ninja.
There you go.
It's a mediocre anime.
Wow.
Now-
my
now-
God, the two guys are battling out
Oh
about
my
what,
God, they
what
actually
animes are all
care.
about.
Yeah.
What about Pony? What about One Piece?
One Piece.
One Piece also mediocre.
Oh,
what
wow.
about-
But
what
Hulu does have a lot of really good
Oh
anime.
yeah.
What's your favorite anime on Hulu?
Oh my God, I like them all except for those two.
All right.
How about Attack on Titan?
That one I hear is actually really good.
Really good.
I haven't checked it
Okay,
out yet.
so if we're keeping track for the purposes of the commercial,
Yes.
that would be slamming two of the products we mentioned and then giving an ambiguous, ambivalent response for the third one. And Pony, my sincere thanks. Even shows for Oscar like Primer Impacto and Despierta America.
It's Primer Impacto.
Primer Impacto.
and Despierta America. And I got to tell you, my mom, she is fired up because when she is at work and she has some downtime, it's
Right.
Primer Impacto time.
Hulu
Yes,
Plus
it is.
has everything for only $7.99 a month. Get your entertainment anytime, anywhere. That's like $0.25 a day. Right now, sign up at huluplus.com/TMOS. Remember that address. Or click on the banner on our website. That's even easier. Get 2 weeks, full access, completely free. Give it a trial run. It's worth it. That's
It
a
is.
whole extra week more with this special offer when you sign up at huluplus.com/TMOS. I had a Facebook person say, well, isn't that offer is for everybody? Why is it special? No. The 1 week is an offer for everybody
Yeah.
if you just go there. The 2 weeks is just for our listeners.
Mr. Man.
So get with it. Start streaming TV right now with Hulu Plus. Rob, a moment after the show with our wonderful friend Pony.
Of course.
To do the whole commercial explanation.
I believe so.
How they work.
I believe
this is how you catalog.
A pep talk is in order.
Exactly.
Is in order.
Fantastic. Just another one. another week, another pep talk. Welcome back to the show. Whoa. We're here. I want to talk about Cake and Cookies because it is part of the network of shows that we have, which, and I am going to say this about myself, I don't talk about them nearly as much as I should. It's Mickey, a very, very fun guy.
Yes.
So great.
I think the number one dog in our stable right now.
If you caught Mickey's post yesterday, and I sure hope Mickey talks about this on the show, it's Mickey. Mickey had an exchange. Did you see this on Facebook, Rob?
I did not.
Mickey had an exchange with a young lady, and I'm paraphrasing here, that went something along the lines of, I'd go out with you if you weren't so short.
Oh, no.
And Mickey said, if you weren't so bleepy, I'd consider it. And the bleepy was see you in Toledo.
Oh, no.
And apparently the girl called him an a-hole and walked away. And Mickey said, what do you think? And that's why Mickey makes me laugh. And Mickey's a great guy. It's Mickey. Tony Perkins is going to be debuting a show sooner than later. They're going to knock out some test shows real soon. That's progressing nicely. But Cake and Cookies and also a couple of comedians that do a show. Rob and Joe, who are fantastic, and they've got a show here as well, along with Omericast, a show that I am going to be on tomorrow.
Oh, look at you.
So I will be joining Marcus Serta.
With your doppelganger.
Marcus Serta tomorrow.
Hey, have you ever gotten a new backdrop for your studio?
So
where did that come
tomorrow.
from?
So all the shows are doing really well, but Cake and Cookies is a show I haven't talked about enough, and I want to hear all about it. If you could summarize Cake and Cookies very quickly, Mr. Spiewak, what would it be?
Our opening sentence every week, it's a weekly radio podcast to show you that your life isn't so bad in comparison.
That's it.
That's basically Katie and I talking about what we do in our humdrum lives. But the thing that has really caught on is Katie talks like her dogs. She does a voice for her dogs, and the people...
I laugh at that. I chuckle at that.
The people
idea.
really eat it up that Judd and Presley, her two beagles, have become really sort of solid characters on the show. They get fan mail. Linus doesn't show up as much. Linus actually shows up on the show because we record in my basement, and sometimes Linus will come down and bark. But Linus is actually on the show. The beagles are on as Katie's voice.
Is Katie more, because I really don't know what she does with Baron von Herman every single week, but is she, I know that they do try to get out more often. They don't have kids.
That's true.
So is she more worldly than you? Because that's the essential element, I would think, for any show with you involved. It would be other people that have interests.
Yeah, well, what you need, Mike, is you need other people and not me. The reason I'm there is because I have the mixing board. That's it. I'm her board op.
No, you have the wit.
Stop
it's just
it
you don't
now.
have, like, in a day's, say, for example, let's take a Saturday, right?
Right.
A Saturday consists of probably the same activities every other Saturday, correct?
It can be, but
because
you see,
you're a man. You like what you like.
It's so true.
And you have a routine.
But the thing is there's a balance, a delicate,
Quite gentle touch there, Oscar.
Yeah, he's making friends with everybody. And you know what's amazing in this situation? This is when Pony doesn't talk.
I am thinking right now how I described this show, because I asked you to do the same thing, and I put three guys busting each other's balls, and everybody has just been liberally included today.
Yeah, it's
and
been
now
good.
it's your turn.
But the delicate balance, if I had to speak in really broad strokes,
Yes.
it is a kinder, gentler version of this show.
Okay.
But we focus on more minutia. For example, we did a long segment when I decided to turn the powder room of my basement into an Elvis-themed bathroom. And
See, I never knew that.
And I didn't bring it up because you wouldn't care. You wouldn't have the patience to walk through that. And yet doesn't care. But
because we're trying to entertain the masses.
It came back as a very, very popular segment. And
Who's telling you this? Tab Patterson?
No, Tab Patterson. No, a lot of people seem to.
What's
like
a lot of people? Give me a number. Because I've seen your numbers.
Okay, then why don't you tell me the numbers? All I do is go in and try to make people smile.
Yeah, but what makes you?
How is he doing? Can we help him out?
Number-wise,
how's he doing it?
He's doing pretty good, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, he's on par with all the other shows.
Now he doesn't have a point to argue, does he?
Well, if you want the, let's say you are you have 10% of the audience that this show has.
Well, exactly, because
Yeah.
this is the main show. It's simply a satellite show.
Yeah, but when you say the masses and all the people love it, I want to see what I'm looking. I'm not trying to dog you. I want to see what your benchmark of all the people. Who are the 5 people that you believe in that say, Rob, that was a great show. Keep talking about the Elvis bathroom.
Well, there, and I just don't get it, but there are many people that message in Facebook and get on Twitter and say they love to hear about it. They
that's
want to see
sweet.
pictures about it.
I've seen nothing really negative about the show.
I see nothing
all
about
positive.
it.
That's the thing that, well, because you got out of the fan club. That's the thing that really blew my mind. And Oscar will tell you, Mike, come back. We need you. This is the main show. We need you to be on this one.
Nothing about it. Oscar said that.
But
there's nothing on there. It's like you don't
it's
exist.
like it doesn't even exist. What is cake? What is a cookie? It's gone. Google can't find anything. I have a photograph of it in my wallet, and your hand has
Can
disappeared.
you answer one question? I'll give
yes.
Oscar a little counterpunch here.
Okay.
Can I ask one question? Has Michael Holstein contacted Katie yet?
No, not yet. But he
Okay,
will.
I'm
I'm
just
sure he
checking.
will. I'm sure he will. And
I'm just waiting.
And he'll say, "I'd like to, talk to you about cake and cookies, but without the other guy." That's what it'll be.
A little more cookie, not so much cake.
Yeah.
So can I get to this right
please
away?
do,
I'm
please.
happy about your Elvis bathroom, but
it was just, I'm not proud of that. I'm just saying it's an example.
terrific instinct to not bring
They
it to
do-
this show. But
they do have a
let
great
me,
show.
The drinking. Let's talk about the drinking because
Not a
all
big
I
drinking
know-
week this week, but we've had shows that we've had to abort.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you about because I heard that there was one show where Dan and Katie come over to your house, right?
Yes, yeah.
And
as a
you have
rule.
like a little happy hour before you do the show.
And Katie keeps saying that she's going to stick to 2 beers per show. And this
Yes.
has never once happened.
It's a very slippery slope.
And it
Have you
is.
explained to her that, there are people in the business of show that have relied on this
Yes.
as a crutch and it can be a very dangerous
And they're no
thing.
longer with us.
That's right. Many of them have passed, and we elevate them to a point of where we celebrate them. But
Right.
we did not. She and I, between us, I think drank only 3 beers on this most recent episode. Not many. Not
So
many.
before or during?
Usually
or both?
during. But
During.
the problem is that there was an episode a few back where she drank a bottle of champagne during the show because she didn't like the flavors of beer I had. And I said, I've got a bottle of champagne. I always keep one
She's
chilled.
a little bitty person.
And Mike, I'm that kind of guy that always keeps champagne ready to go because who knows
Yeah,
what's going to happen.
You just pop into the
That's right.
Corbel and it's
And-
ready to go.
Yeah, that's
baby.
right. And when it's only an $8 bottle, who cares?
So she that can get you lit.
And she was extraordinarily lit by the end of the show. And here's the thing. I don't want to take that away from her because it brings a certain effervescence to the show that might
Right.
not always be there. But it's a delicate act because sometimes when she crosses a line, if I can explain it this way, when we get towards the end of the program and I have
Right.
the destination in sight, she
Right.
keeps pulling on the steering wheel. She doesn't want the show to end.
Oh,
and,
that's
and,
sweet.
and sometimes she kind of derails the direction that we want to go. And as you are the straw that stirs the drink in this forum, I'm sort of the leader in that forum.
You
and that
painted
makes
a
it
very
tough.
childlike picture of her, which I really
But
like.
that's
I
only
like
when
that.
she crosses the line. Oftentimes, if we can keep her under a 6-pack, she's fine. Where it normally gets to be troublesome is when we're doing the show and Dan is seated maybe 10 feet away on the sofa.
Is
watching.
it awkward with her
Oh,
husband
see,
there?
that's not good. I'd
No,
get
it's
him the
not.
hell out. Get him the hell out. He
it's-
should
it's-
not be anywhere. I
it's
love him
great.
to death.
It's
You
great
know that
having
I
him
love
there.
Dan. I love Dan.
That man
I
is a
love-
beaten man. He's got to see you have like oral foreplay with his wife.
It's terrible. Oscar,
I could
he shouldn't
not
be,
handle that.
He should not be in the room.
Dan, you're a
He
better
should
man
not.
than myself.
Then again, wait, I'm
my
thinking
wife
about-
is there too. My wife is there too.
What
most
are
of the
they
time.
doing while you're doing your thing?
You now, hold on.
That's what they're doing.
You
guys have a
Can-
wild relationship.
can you take some advice from me?
Of course.
Try one show where they go upstairs.
We've done
where
that.
They
We've
to
done
the
that.
marital bed.
Yes, where they will go upstairs and they will lay together.
Okay, but so
This
they're
most
not
recent
always
show.
there.
This most recent show, they were absent. But you
Okay,
see,
so that's
sometimes
fine.
Dan brings content as well. There was
How
a
does that
wonderful
happen?
there was a wonderful story that we told about Dan having a box of porn stolen from his car when he was like 17.
Well, that's pretty funny.
And we needed him
That
to
is
fill
good,
in
yeah.
some of the blanks.
Yeah.
And it was great because the whole point of the story is that he was working at a video store that had the back room. And
Right.
what he'd done is he had borrowed the tapes. And it really, when I got right down to it, I said, when you were filling out the police report, did you really need 17 tapes at once? I mean, I know you're 17 and you're a go-go guy at
That's
17.
good.
That's
That's
fun.
good.
But you
That's
see,
fun.
and Carrie, you know, she brings content too. If Carrie has a few pops,
What does Carrie bring?
a lot of times she just laughs at the wrong time and gives me S. But it's sort of the atmosphere of having the spouses in the periphery that actually works out okay.
I couldn't handle that.
Sometimes my kids come by. We keep it
Oh,
cleaner.
that's the-
We keep it cleaner when the kids come by, of course.
You've gone from porn to kids.
Yeah,
That's
but
a
you see, never at the same time.
dangerous combination. right
Never
there.
at the same time. And
Everything-
we handle it. We handle the content in such a way.
I am sure the show is going great. Clearly, the numbers speak for themselves. It is going great.
You know, and Mike, as you have crossed 23.5 million downloads this very day, we just had our 23rd and a half download.
So, but I would. Isn't that a lot to handle? Because when I'm, for example, when I'm even Tech 411, right?
Right.
God bless Shannon, but she's like, "Hey, can I come down and hang out?" And I said, "No, we're doing. It's business time. We're doing a show."
Right.
You know, it doesn't matter if you think we're having a good time. It's still a radio show. We want to treat it the way it is.
I can see where Shannon would be sort of not the right fit for during Tech 411.
I said, watch it on Ustream like everybody else.
However,
And Mrs. O'Mara, just hold on. Mrs. O'Mara pops in here, and we do a little thing with the boonie hat, and then then I kind of look at her, and she knows without me even saying anything. It's just like, well, that was a great little segment. I truly, truly appreciate that. Thanks for coming by. There
she's
you go.
gone.
She's
Papa
out
Bear
of it.
has
Yeah.
to work, baby.
but
Thank you. That's the way it goes.
This is a different show with a different, almost, and I hate to use this word because it has a negative connotation. It has a folksy atmosphere. And the fact that the kids might
hate
come
that
by,
word.
well, you know what though? For some reason, Mike, and I don't want
Folksy,
to, I don't want to
come
pull
on
the
by.
curtain back.
What is
but-
it, the Lawrence Welk show?
No,
It's
that's
got a
not
folksy
folksy.
Oh, was
atmosphere.
it old showbiz for you?
No, this is to me. This
It's
is a
just like the Carol Burnett show.
okay. How about not folksy? How about a more relaxed atmosphere?
Than our show, which is filled with
Well, no, but I mean, like,
life and death.
you have to know that this show has its formatics, and it
Yes.
has this is still a radio show.
Hey, Rob.
Cake and Cookies is not a radio show.
Do you mind, with all due respect for you, I don't want to hurt your feelings.
You can't.
Okay. But maybe cover your ears for 2 seconds. I got to talk to Mike.
Talk
Please,
to him.
please.
I'll listen.
Okay. I'm going to pretend he's not listening. Mike.
Okay, go ahead.
It's relaxed, like his work ethic.
I didn't say that, and I'm sorry.
But
I
you know
laughed
what?
at
No,
that.
that's fine.
I'm sorry. I laughed.
did you
at
hear
But
that?
it's, but
Did you
it's
hear that, Rob?
different.
I'm so
It's
sorry.
different
I
than other
whispered.
shows. Keep in mind,
I
it is.
whispered.
It's different than say Tech 411, which has tighter formatics, and my show, for example, is entertaining. So they all have different aspects.
Touche. Don't listen to the last
All
night's
right.
show.
If a listener wants,
Hey, you know what? Same for me
It was
too.
really
Stick to
boring.
episode 12.
Yeah. How about
Okay.
you? I think 26 was our highlight.
It sort of crested.
Yeah. And we're at 100 something now.
the lat. No, you can say as far as the last Tech 411 show.
Your
entertaining- I think it was.
No.
And entertaining. Entertaining is a word that I would use for that.
Now,
I love the whole talk.
113 was great. 114 not so much.
What I liked about the last one was I like it when Todd is excited about the progress that's being made
Right.
with the whole patent troll thing, and
Oh,
also
yeah?
when Todd talks about getting sued, you can't argue with that.
So
That's
true.
pretty
Look
good
at
stuff.
you.
You know what I
Yeah.
like?
What, did you see what I just did?
That was very good.
Yeah.
On the
I
most-
just pretended I'd listened.
On the
Oh.
most recent
Oh,
episode,
I thought
Mike,
you
I
listened.
liked when they talked about that technological breakthrough, and Oscar said it was amazing, and then Todd said it was amazing.
We actually we broke down MS DOS.
Oh my
Yes.
God! Can I get that
Wow.
on a compact disc so I can listen on the ride home?
I'll give you a
That's
floppy.
fantastic. Wow. That's exciting. But anyway, if somebody has never listened to Cake and Cookies, Rob, when
Yes.
does it hit normally? When is it uploaded normally?
It
and
drops-
what's the easiest way for them to get it?
It drops on Wednesdays, but sometimes we do it late on Tuesday night. I think that's going to be the case this week because it's done, right, Pony? Yeah, you got it? And the easiest way to do it, if you just want to listen, go to the Mike O'Mara Show website. You're probably there right now. Click Media and click Cake and Cookies. It'll take you right to our page. And you can also subscribe on iTunes. And if you do, just search More Broadcasting. Click on Cake and Cookies. And if you're going to listen on iTunes and subscribe, it would mean the world to me if you gave us a nice review.
Yeah,
like
review.
5 stars would be excellent because there's been a couple times we've actually been new and notable on
I saw
comedy
that,
podcasts.
yeah.
And that's a really great feeling.
And you normally record it on the weekends, right?
Yeah, usually Saturday, but sometimes it's Sunday. And a lot of times after it's over, we figure it out and we have dinner. And Katie and Julia have become very close friends because they're roughly the same size.
They are. Isn't Julia taller than Katie now?
Actually, she is now.
Yeah, his daughter is taller than a grown woman.
And
Well,
they're
I
a
love the
great
show.
couple, and
I
we
enjoy
enjoy
it.
having it. Well, I know, Mike, and one of these days you really should listen.
I should. I love It's Mickey. I love Tech 411, Omeracast.
Rob and Joe.
My God, Rob and Joe is, of all of them, I think Rob and Joe is, it's so different than all the other stuff that we do. Okay.
I'll say this about
Let me,
Rob and Joe, Mike, if I may.
Yes.
I know if I can sort of encapsulate what you're trying to say.
I never know who I like more, Rob or Joe.
They're both great. And if you like comedy, if you like to laugh, the one thing they offer is an insight to comedy that none of the other shows do.
True.
If you love comedians, sometimes it's like almost getting a Tech 411 of comedy. And their show is extraordinarily insightful as far as how
Funny
to make
guys.
people laugh. I like their show a lot.
That is a spot-on description of their show.
Is that
I
what
think
you were
that's
trying to say?
fantastic. That's exactly what I was trying to say. We're going to take a break. Come back right after this with news you may not need on the Mike O'Mara Show. Just how it is. Anyway, welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show.
That was terrific.
Michael McDonald. This segment of the program is brought to you by Sleep Number. The hot months are coming.
Yes.
And I'm talking about temperatures that make sometimes, even with the best air conditioning, sleeping can be a little uncomfortable. A lot of people like to sleep in a cool bed, and some people don't want it as cool as the next person. I will tell you that 8 hours a night, I am in perfect comfort. So is Carla. And as we get ready for our first Florida summer, we don't worry about a thing. We both sleep in a cool bed because it's the dual temp layer.
Yes.
That's what I want to talk about today. You select your ideal temperature at the touch of a button, and best of all, it can be added to any mattress brand, even if you don't have Sleep Number beds. It features active air technology, which heats or cools each side of the bed. It is the solution for couples who can't agree on the right sleeping temperature. Now you can both sleep just the way you like it. My Sleep Number setting is a beautiful, perfect 60. Of course, I said that for like an 80 and a 90 for a while. I change it occasionally, and Carla said this the other day. Having a Sleep Number bed is like having 20, 30, 70 different mattresses because you can change them all the time, anytime you want. Carla right now is sleeping at about a 70.
You know what you could do, Mike? You could sleep with a firmness of 60 and a temperature of 60.
Unbelievable. That's true, Rob.
It's
I'm going to
so
try
true.
that. The Mother's Day special is going on right now. Check out the dual temp layer. Right now, there's even special financing available. The dual temp layer is only available at a Sleep Number store where queen mattresses start at just $699. There are 450 Sleep Number stores nationwide. Find one near you by calling 800-511-0061. That number again is 800-511-0061. You go into a Sleep Number store, tell them that Mike O'Mara sent you. Let me know that you did that, and let me know that you got a Sleep Number store bed, and I will have a nice little conversation with you and say thank you, and I would love to chat with you about it, and I'll probably share it right here on the show. So check out Sleep Number and do it today. Tell them Mike O'Mara sent you.
From around the globe, across the nation, looking through your neighbor's window, the Mike O'Mara Show now presents News You May Not Need, a comprehensive look at the stories you may or may not be talking about during your daily activity. And now, News You May Not Need.
Well, with all this controversy around Roger Sterling and his terrible comments about that, Rob?
Yes.
Roger Sterling.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. That's Donald Sterling that you meant.
Yeah, not Donald Sutherland.
No. A different guy. Totally
It's
different
Donald
guy.
Sterling. You remember the last big controversy about race, I think, was Paula Dean.
Yes.
And she is hitting the road again. The embattled chef announced that she will kick off a 20-show tour on June 21st. Who'd like to guess where she's kicking off that tour?
I'm guessing it's someplace in the southern part of our United States, Mike.
She's kicking off her tour June 21st in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Oh, Dollywood.
wow.
That's where Dollywood is.
Yep, a couple of months after telling People magazine that she was fighting to get her name back in the wake of a racial scandal. The initial 7 shows will take place in southern cities. That's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you wonder how misguided something like this is.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Was she hitting
Go ahead.
Harlem?
No, she is not.
No
going to
shows
Harlem.
in Harlem?
Nashville, Atlanta, Savannah, Georgia. The 90-minute shows will feature cooking demos, storytelling, and interactive games
And
with
farting.
the audience. Tickets go on sale May 1st. We'll have to see how that works out for her.
Do you think
Speaking,
I'm
yes, go
sorry.
ahead.
You think they planned out? Whoever said, "Okay, look, this is our battle plan. Somebody get a census and look where the most white people are that hate African Americans, and then we're going to actually make the tour line up with that census because that'll mean we'll sell more tickets."
You know, she's just dumb. It's dumb PR.
I
It's
think
dumb
it is,
PR.
Mike. I think you
She's
nailed it.
doing only southern cities. It's like that's stupid.
It would have been smarter to go to the cities in the north and have smaller venues, and then
Yes.
go to the south and have
Yes.
larger venues.
Right.
Where it's going to be, we love you, Paula.
Yeah, she could
Don't
do-
let those people get you down.
She could do like the Ha-Ha Hole in New York with like 50
Exactly.
people, and like
Yeah.
do that, and then go to the 930 Club,
Oh.
and maybe have like 800 people, and then go to an arena.
Please do me
I
a favor, Oscar. Never mention the word ha-ha hole and Paula Dean at the same time.
Willie Nelson, who turns 81 this week, received his 5th-degree black belt in the martial art of Gong Kwan Yu Sul on Monday.
I'm so sure.
Nelson parked his tour bus outside the Austin studio of his instructor. He didn't show off his chops, but Grandmaster Sam assured a packed room that the redheaded stranger could hold his own against anyone.
I bet he's got a black belt the same way Elvis Presley has a black belt.
Yeah, I bet he's legit. I
Do
bet,
you
I
really?
Bet Willie is legit. Yeah, I bet he's legit. Even though he's an old guy, I bet he's legit because he's done it for his whole life. And I think Willie's an obsessive guy, so I think he's probably good at it. Fox apparently isn't going to let NBC dominate the world with live TV musicals, Rob Spiewak.
Oh, my God. It's a grand day to be alive.
They jumped into the theater game Monday by announcing they will broadcast a 3-hour live version of the musical Grease.
Now,
This is a bold venture.
Is it based on the musical or is it based on the radio show?
Hey, I want to welcome my friend Pony. Happy little day. We have so many maggots on the line. That'll feature the musical Grease, a young ensemble cast that's yet to be named. NBC did the whole ratings boost with The Sound of Music, and they're going to be working on a live production of Peter Pan for next December. You know, it's TV people. They're
but
worse
you know
than
what?
radio people.
I bet Fox absolutely destroys everybody with this. Grease has such a following, it's weird. People like my age on down, they really love that show. Sound of Music is a big one too, but I think that the Grease fans are more ravenous. I think they're going to have a killer number on this.
Kristen Stewart has not officially been in a relationship since she and Robert Pattinson parted ways in May of last year, but now it's kind of interesting. She's allegedly thought to have moved on with close friend Alicia Cargill. Is it Cargill or Cargill? The U.S. edition of Star Magazine has printed a report saying the former Twilight actress is really happy with Cargill, a friend with whom she has been photographed hanging out on many occasions. Love is love to Kristen, the mag source alleges. She's really happy with Alicia. Kind of hot, if you ask me.
And she could take her to the ha-ha hole.
Everybody
This
wants to
summer's
go there.
World Cup in Brazil should be a hoot for American soccer fans, according to The Guardian. There is apparently not one, not two, but 3 Osama bin Laden themed bars in the country.
What?
All neighboring the World Cup epicenter in Rio.
This is the worst Chuck E. Cheese I've ever been to.
The first pioneering bar came from Ceará Francisco Helder Braga Fernandez, a bin Laden lookalike who decided to capitalize on his resemblance. And they show a picture of him, and he does look like bin Laden. Kind of weird. I guess they don't look at it the same way we do here in the United States. Just very strange. Are you ready? If you're eating anything right now, you might want to just put it over to the side because we've got a couple of stories here that we need to do back to back, and I just want to make sure I give everybody a warning.
Would you classify them as unsavory?
A little bit.
Okay.
A woman whose apartment was damaged when her neighbor's corpse exploded in the unit above hers has been ordered to pay for her own repairs. Judy Rodrigo lost her nearly 6-year legal battle with her insurer on Wednesday with the Palm Beach County Court in Florida ruling that her insurance policy didn't cover damage caused by bodily explosions.
Oh, of course.
No.
Yeah.
Rodrigo here, okay, now push the food even further away.
Okay.
Rodrigo claimed in her suit that Keystone Condominium Association staff failed to discover the elderly woman's body for 2 weeks in 2008, causing it to burst. By the time maintenance workers checked in on the upstairs neighbor who lived alone, her remains were being eaten by her pet dog.
Oh, no. That's not good.
Quote, I don't know how the dog stayed alive. It must have been at her for some time. Shocked neighbor Nicholas Colangelo told Courthouse News in 2009. Rodrigo claimed the condo association failed to replace common elements of the building that were soaked by the bodily liquids.
Oh, no. That is
And
not
she was
okay.
forced to pay for renovations herself. Even though her apartment was gutted, Rodrigo said the smell never left.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I can see
And
that.
now, I'm
Yummy.
sorry to gross everybody. I'm looking at the room and I'm saying to myself, maybe too gross for even
No,
news you may
I
not
thought
need.
it was good. I think that in the future, though, if you are an older person living in Florida, don't be afraid to use your AC.
Amen. And now a little something.
Yes.
For one night and one night only, little kids sticking their filthy hands into the food wasn't the grossest thing at the buffet.
Good lead, Mike.
26-year-old Ryan Bravo of Kennewick, Washington, took a woman to dinner at an old country buffet on Saturday night. She left after dinner, but old Ryan stayed behind, apparently for a very specific reason. Right there in the middle of the restaurant, Ryan took a cup and peed into it.
Oh, no.
And then he drank it in front of everyone eating their dinner.
Oh, no.
I warned everybody about this.
Yeah.
And this is, for our friends at KCJJ, just, please bear with
If
me.
it was to pay a bet.
Yeah. I don't know. He did it. Didn't seem like anybody was around. The cops aren't really sure why he did it, but he was arrested and charged with public urination.
Of course.
He's going to do some time
Interesting.
about this. I love Old Country Buffet, especially the vegetables. Have you ever been to the P-Bar, Rob?
Oh, no.
I'm just curious. When I can only do a few of them, I've got a few here.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm just curious who leaked the story.
Like that.
I heard the guy Ryan is actually a really smart guy. He's a super whiz kid. Seriously, as far as buffets go, Old Country is number one in my book. Thank you very much,
Nice
everybody.
job.
We'll take a break, come back with the audio vault and Rob Stewart right here, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Whoa, whoa. Dear sweet mother, Mama, Mommy, Mamu. She always spoiled you because she loved you. Now it's time to spoil Mom with berries and flowers. And you can spoil her twice.
Twice?
This is a one-day only offer, people. I'm talking about our good friends at Sherry's Berries. Send Mom a beautiful bouquet of flowers, and on the very next day, have freshly dipped strawberries delivered from Sherry's Berries for only $39.99. That's the whole thing. She won't even see it coming. What a surprise. Amazing, luscious, gargantuan, hand-selected strawberries dipped in decadent white, dark, and milk chocolate goodness, topped with chocolate chips, nuts, and the ever-popular swizzle. Boy! Swizzle! There are certain products, Oscar, that Rob and I get excited about.
We like this one.
And, of course, the flowers are beautiful, too, and they're classic. All you need is our magic code, TMOS. Use TMOS when you order and spoil the mom in your life. Here's the only way to get this amazing Mother's Day deal. Visit berries.com. Let me spell it for you because it might surprise you. It's BERRIES.com. Click on the microphone in the top right corner. Type in the greatest code in the world, TMOS. And again, that's berries.com. Click microphone, TMOS. Great. This offer is good for today only. Today only. You got to act now. You know she'll call her friends to talk about these delicious surprise berries. So hurry. Order now, and we thank you in advance. Thank you very much. And now, without further ado, let's open up the audio vault for Tuesday, April 29th, 2014. You really couldn't hear that, Rob. Let me do that again.
Thank you. That what you opened before was just not even a vault. It was actually a strong box.
Okay.
That's where we keep certain small pieces of audio, and whether it's
So you
open
think
or
that's a
closed.
strong box, so I don't have to open the other one again then?
No, you're fine.
You sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Because I heard it.
Yeah, I heard it too.
I heard it was the vault.
You two are jerks.
I can
that
open
was
it
a
if you
strong
want.
box.
No,
You
it
want
sounded like the vault.
No, it was a strong box where we keep
No.
just the Dude Walker tapes.
We were actually further away from the vault. This is the vault.
Now the vault is closed.
No, it's open.
No, it's closed.
I would say it's open. Oh my goodness. Definitely open.
I think it's open.
Yeah, definitely open.
Looks open.
Definitely.
Then you can proceed, obsessive compulsive.
You know what? That makes my ears feel hot. I don't like when you do that. A song for you, Mike. I believe this is the song that you quoted yesterday, and it actually starts with a brief spoken word piece. So often, people forget the magic of Bing Crosby and Louis Armstrong. Let's bring them to the audio vault today.
I tell you why I can't find you. Every time I go out to your place, you gone fishing.
Ah, you know.
But there's a sign
nice.
upon your door.
Uh-huh.
Gone fishing.
I'm real gone, man.
You ain't working anymore.
Is this the song you were referring to?
There's your whole house.
Oh, you've got a fishing hook on your shirt.
Where you left a row.
Is this the song you're referring to?
You claimed
I
it
don't
whole
know. No, I don't think so.
All right, then let
Mine's
me move on.
gone fishing instead of just a wishing. I don't know.
Let me go on to something else. I don't normally like radio comedy service bits, and I very seldom play them.
Yes.
This one I thought was funny. Did you know, Mike, that Donald Sterling has a new album coming out?
I have no idea.
New from Donald Sterling Studios.
What?
Donald Sterling adds his voice to each and every song.
What?
You'll also get
What?
and just listen to his remix of this Ram Jam classic.
What? What?
And this,
What?
new from Can You Believe This Crap Is Still Happening in 2014 Records.
What?
I swear to you, we've been doing
Didn't
the
blow
show
that one up.
nearly 5 years. We've been doing the show nearly 5 years. I very seldom go down that road.
Pretty good.
But that was funny. The fact they used his voice.
That's a
funny.
good one.
Big news as CBS's evenings seem to be falling apart. Craig Ferguson announces he'll be leaving at the end of the year.
At the end of this year, I will be stepping down as the host of this show. Thanks, everybody. That was quite convincing. I'll be stepping down at the end of this year in December, and then I'll go and do something else. Probably I'm thinking carpentry. But I haven't made my mind up yet. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I feel like doing this show for 10 years, that's enough.
And he also went on to say
They blew it.
emphatically, he did not want Dave's job. And
I disagree with that.
Do you really?
Yeah,
Who
I
wouldn't
do.
take that job?
Yeah,
You're in a job that's already kind of the next step up. It's like being in radio and asked to go to mornings when you know that you've been wanting to go to mornings your entire career.
The thing
Yeah,
is, he
it's-
does such an honest show, or a seemingly honest show, when he gets out and does his monologue. Somehow I believe him. Maybe I want to believe him.
It's weird timing, and I would think that let's just say that he's telling the truth, that he really didn't want Dave's job.
Right.
At least, he could have chosen better timing to make this announcement.
I agree.
He could have done that. He didn't wait. It didn't come
And
until
he'll actually
right
be-
after Colbert.
The way it is, he'll be retiring before Dave now.
Yeah,
Because Dave
yeah,
is
it's-
next year, and he'll do
Yep.
it at the end of this year. So there you go. I wish him the best. I always thought he was wonderful on television.
So who do you think CBS is going to pop into the late night slot now?
I think Leah Remini.
We'll have to wait and see. I think it's going to be Les Moonves' wife.
More music and less Moonves.
Yes, very good.
When you graduate from college, it's obviously a big deal, and certain people do things to call attention to themselves. Let us go to Davenport University, where a guy gets his diploma and tries to do a backflip, except he doesn't, and he falls.
no.
And
Oh, no.
Mike, he's okay. And if you want to see the actual video, check out our YouTube page. But I do like the sound of the failed backflip.
Keaton Taylor Briggs.
Oh no!
Okay. I don't know. We're just gonna give it a minute.
He's okay. He's
audio.
okay.
Oh, what an a-hole. You can't do that in dress shoes. That's not possible.
No.
His
and a
poor
robe.
parents.
And a robe,
Oh,
too.
can you imagine the robe getting snagged in midair?
But you know what?
I'm thinking about his family, his poor family.
His family's already disappointed. He only made it into Davenport University. We close, Mike. Hey, you know what? Jimmy Kimmel, I think, had the best joke about Donald Sterling, and there were a lot of them yesterday. Hats off. I take off my boonie hat. I take it off to Jimmy Kimmel.
Sterling insists he's not a racist. He says some of his best credit cards are black.
That's your Magic Audio Vault. Have a great Tuesday, everybody.
That's it. We got to get out of here. Hey, Mac, good to see you. Don't be a stranger.
Hi there.
Nice to see you in those D.C. studios.
Good to see you too.
Yeah. Thanks for that enthusiastic response
Mr.
right
Energy.
back to me.
He said,
Thank you
hi
very
there,
much.
and good to see you, too, Mike.
Yeah, come back in September.
For all technical questions about the Mike O'Mara Show, contact our man Ponyboy at MikeO'MaraShow.com. All correspondence for the show, 2796 Leesburg, Virginia, 20177. And our e-voice line, 800-440-8167. For Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana, this is Mike O'Mara saying, see you next time, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
This episode of The Mike O'Mara Show is brought to you by Hulu Plus. Watch your favorite shows anytime, anywhere with Hulu Plus on your TV or on the go with your smartphone or tablet. Shows like Family Guy, Once Upon a Time, New Girl, Scandal, and more. Right now, you can try Hulu Plus for free for 2 weeks when you go to huluplus.com/TMOS or click the banner on our website. That's huluplus.com/TMOS. Now scram.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.